You want me to tell you how I feel right now, but I don't feel anything. Do you understand? I don't feel anything. Well, if you imagine that my feelings are the desert and everything that happens in it, that's it. And nothing happens there, right? Just the occasional thorn in the side. Now you're interested in hearing more about the scorched desert. But look, you think I'm lonely and miserable. No, I have a wife, albeit an ex-wife, and 2 beautiful children. You're all worried about my divorce was hard on me. Well, we're still friends, you know, and I'm not unhappy, that's what it's about. My wife and I had a happy life. It happens, we don't love each other anymore, but we have kids together. And she's a beautiful and skillful woman. I'm very lucky. I'm lucky to have had a wife like that. By the way, now I don't feel homesick for her, although she comes to visit me very rarely. Stop thinking that I don't feel it because something unfortunate happened to me. That's not true. I am living a wonderful life right now. I have my own house, a big apple orchard, as many apples as I want. It has my beautiful living room, so many rooms, and even my own garage. It's true that I don't have a car yet, but that's a result. And now I've been living here for 9 months. I feel great here, I have wonderful neighbors and even a dog in the yard. Although lately I've stopped feeling the frosty mornings and the warmth of the fireplace. Oh, well, at least I have a fireplace, a real one. There used to be no fireplace. In general, we used to live poorly, modestly, and according to our means. A year ago, I was still doing these goddamn portraits and illustrations for fucking crazy kids for a pittance. These moments I felt that I wasn't capable of more, and at the same time, I was striving for more, and I was writing every day looking for something that I could sell very dearly, that would be in demand. Mostly I sat in my room behind the canvas. Sometimes I looked for inspiration in a walk, listening to the sound of the river on the embankment or the hum of ships at the river station, gazing at passers-by and watching the weather. All this cacophony of colors I combined in my room on a linen canvas. I wasn't able to paint lush and powerful things as quickly as my buddy, that friend in the art world and my own rival. But I knew I could write something extraordinary, new, and brilliant that would glorify and elevate me. Everyone in my family believed in it, and everyone had their own dreams. Martha, my wife, wanted her own apple orchard. But we lived in an apartment, and it wasn't enough to have our own orchards. Mia and Neil, my children, wanted separate rooms because they had one nursery for 2. All I wanted was a spacious living room with a fireplace, like an art gallery. It seemed to me that every self-respecting artist should have such a living room, but then we all had only one modest apartment and hopes that one day we would all leave it. And all this was to be resolved very soon. I had to complete my masterpiece, which everyone was sure to appreciate. Otherwise, why had I worked on it for 6 years? I was very worried at the time. I remember when the exhibition opened, they refused, didn't accept, didn't understand. The devil played in favor of the other. Now I don't feel anything, no annoyance, no sadness, no joy. I'm just at ease, but back then it was nasty, it was bloody cold. I walked home and didn't know what to tell them all, that it was all for nothing. My whole life was one big waste, from which now I saw no way out. Everything they believed in and expected from me, Ruddy. Martha, she didn't wait either, she was already packing her suitcase and her children, and when I entered the apartment looking like an icy pipe, she didn't believe in me anymore and knew in advance that I was doomed to failure. She was leaving to the one because of whom my masterpiece was rejected, because of whom it was not recognized and not understood, to my most important rival in creativity as a former friend, a brilliant and talented Fifi with a capital letter. By that time, she had been sleeping with him for a long time, as she herself told me in a hurry. My muse was sleeping with my enemy. I kicked her out, and the children, she couldn't say a word, only sobbed unintelligibly and choked on her tears as if she was short of air. The children cried, but not for long. Soon they all just silently left, and I was left alone. Our decrepit apartment, soaked in unfulfilled dreams, she put down. And I don't remember anything else. I regained consciousness in some hospital. It turns out I'd been unconscious for a long time. I had to stay there for a couple days. All this time, like you are asking me about why I kicked out my wife and how I felt about the failed exhibition. I've told all this before, even to journalists, as I recall. But after all that, I was given a house, really. The man introduced himself as a long-time fan of my work and said that he had an empty house outside of town, that he wanted to give me for my work and that canvas I had suffered so much for. I gave this hated and tortured brainchild without question. And now fate and fortune heard me and everything I dreamed of appeared, a fireplace, and a living room, in the form of a gallery, though the paintings hanging there are not mine, and I don't write my own anymore. And with Marta we remained friends. I can't say that I was able to forgive her, but we managed to keep friendly relations. She comes to visit, brings the kids and really likes to sit in my garden. The boys love to play hide and seek, as there are so many rooms. Basically, the story is over. I've probably been through too much, had too high hopes once and didn't realize that everything could collapse in an instant. Maybe I'm too vulnerable or too close to my heart to have experienced everything, but I can't even squeeze out tears yet. Now I am a little sick. Everyone wants to help me, to plant a seed of living feelings in me, but how can a seed sprout in a scorched desert? Regularly the doctor visits me, brings me medicine, and talks to me, and now here you are. I'm not bored, events abound. You want me to explain to you how I am feeling right now, but I just don't have anything to say to you yet.